Today's beautiful 57 Chevy, a vintage air unit inside of it. Complete AC not working. I found it low. It only had 45 psi vapor pressure in it. Even today is only about 60 degrees and a little overcast, foggy. So I should have more than 45 psi of vapor inside of it, high and low side. So that tells me there's nothing more than vapor. Did a physical visual going around looking at everything, and one thing stood out even by eye. I seen a slight green at that fitting right there in the center, the high side. So taking a look at that, let's test out two lights here. So here's my tried and true, and the one I recommend to everybody out of all the lights I've ever had. This is the Opti Max, and it has to say the Opti Pro Max. It has to have, if you find, now they have a new update version that does not look like this. I have it on order, it is coming. But this is the older style Opti Pro Max, and it has the 3 lines on it. If it doesn't have the 3 lines, it's not the Opti Pro Max. And that's very important in finding leaks for the strength of the light. So, and I've dropped my light a lot. Now as you can see, when my light hits it, it fluoresces. Okay, let's do an A to B comparison. Unfortunately, I can't hold the camera and do an A to B comparison with the light. Okay, so now the light is on low. That's its low power, and you could barely see. Here's its high power. Okay, so there's its high power. That's high. Okay, and we are out here in the kind of bright sunlight. It's overcast, so there's a lot of reflective light. So now I will say one thing. This is several years old, and LEDs lose their lumicity, which is their brightness, a little bit over our lifetime. So this is an old light, and I haven't charged the battery in probably about 3 weeks, and so it's not the most fair comparison, but we can say that this light here, which is this one is the Eagle 12. It's supposed to be 12 watt. I'm doubting that. The UV spectrum is 395, but we can say this one is a little bit brighter. And but this one's 300 and was this $69 or $79 for this, and this one was $125 for my first one. I think the price dropped as low as $79 on these before they stopped making them and they have the new model on, and now it's becoming hard to find these old ones. I prefer to find the old one, but I'm ordering a brand new one, the new model, and we'll do a to B comparison between the old version and the new version. We have this one right here, what was Streamlight. Oh shoot, I forgot what the name of this the company was on this one right here. But this one was like $379 US dollars. So for what you're getting for the price, for that extra couple $100, you're really not getting much more than this one right here. And this one I have proven against most all the other manufacturers, different models and everything like that, and this is the top dog in this price range. And I don't even consider those ones that you could buy from auto parts stores for like $15, $30. I don't even consider them lights. There's a kind of waste of money. They do illuminate a little bit, but if you're out in the sunlight, you'll miss the leak. Or if the leak is really small, or if the dye is really weak, the cheap lights don't pick it up, and the technician just doesn't diagnose it and misses that leak. Where with these lights, it makes them really bright. So a light makes a difference. You get for you what you pay for. Yes, this is stronger, but is it $200 worth stronger? Well, I like to find every leak I possibly can, and I like to have the edge over my competition. So for me, doing this every day from 6 in the morning to 6 at night every day for the next 20 years and my last 30 years, I will always try to get the best tool for my customer so I could do the best job. So for me, paying $370 or whatever it was, it's worth it for me. For the rest of you out there, if you're professionals, and you do this every day, and it's very important for you to find a leak, this would be the absolute minimum light I would recommend looking for the leaks. There's no other light that's in this price range that I have came across and tested, and I'm always grabbing them off the shelves of the parts houses. When they come up with a new light, I take them down off their shelf, put the batteries in, and I test them against this, and they usually always fail. So in comparison, this is the to-go light. There's one other light, and I actually had the Opti 365. That's even brighter and better than this, but that was $700, and I think they dropped down to around $535 now. I have to get another one of those because I lost that one, but I haven't spent the money to get it. But I will be replacing the OptiMax, the Opti 365, but you'll find that in a price range between $500 to $700, but it even kicks ass on these lights. All right, so that's it for this leak find. And now I got to find out whether that's a compression fitting or an O-ring fitting. I'm going to take it apart and replace the O-ring if it's an O-ring. If it's compression, inspect, make sure there's no burrs or anything on the aluminum. Put some Nylag on the surface, put it back together, and tighten it up again. Let's take a look at this vehicle. As you can see, this is pretty nice. It has smoke tinted windows, old Cadillac seats, very nice. There's the little AC vents down there. It has a minimal system for AC. It's a vintage air system. It's nice working on these old cars, especially when somebody keeps them up and restores them and always wants to keep them in top condition. So I'll throw this on the vacuum pump after doing that O-ring repair or compression repair, and let's see what we have. Oh, condenser. This is the upgraded parallel flow condenser. This is one of the universal kit ones. Just straight, simple fittings in and out. Now, if this was my personal vehicle, or if I was going to throw in a condenser in here, I would get like the condenser out of a Sienna van, a Toyota van that has dual air conditioning, a slightly higher capacity range, and I would make up my custom fittings, and it would fit in here just nicely. It would be a beautiful thing. Instead of the like 28 cooling tubes in here, you would have like 52 cooling tubes. Instead of 12 fins per inch, you would have like 21 or 22 fins per inch. And when you go to hot places like hot August nights in the summertime, and go to Vegas or go Los Angeles or Nevada, anywhere really hot, Texas, it's always nice to have a little bit extra condenser on there. All right, catch you on the next video on this one.